Hello friends and potential friends. Let's see, I think it's about the 20th of February and just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We are feeling a few of the outer fringes. Oh my, that's the first time I've seen the sun today. It's been overcast all morning. We've been under the outer fringes of the latest Arctic blast, or whatever they're calling this one. And it's running right just under 60 degrees today. But I can't complain because when I got up this morning, I followed my usual practice of checking temperatures in a few different places. Of course, first I always check my own. Then I go looking at southern Idaho, where my mom's at. And then I check southern Louisiana, where I've got some friends. This morning, southern Louisiana was at 30 degrees when I checked. And southern Idaho was at 32 degrees. So I'm not about to complain about being near 60 degrees here in Central Florida. But anyway, it's a state of transition here in the garden. Things are shutting down. I'm cleaning some things up, making space for more things, and getting ready for the spring crop. Though really the winter crop is still hanging on in a few places. So let me grab that other camera and I'll take you for a quick look around. Salad season is rapidly coming to an end here in Central Florida. A lot of my lettuces are giving it up. And a lot of other things are just coming to life. Oh, hi Pally. How you doing over there? Still waiting to see some slips coming up out of those sweet potatoes I planted a few days ago. And there's something I don't want to see coming up. Hi Snowflake. Out in the main garden, well, let's see. Still got a little bit of basil growing here, but you see a bit of empty spots here. I harvested the last of the Swiss chard last week. Pulled up the, what else was in here? Romaine lettuce that had been bolting for the last month or so. And still eating collards. Those cabbage collards just keep on going. I pull a few and chop them up in my salads every day. And they'll probably keep going for, well, the rest of the year if I let them. Pulled up a few other lettuces in here. The Mississippi Asian cabbage. And let's see, the Napa cabbage came out of that first bed. Bugs got most of the Napa cabbage. I've been pulling a few radishes out of here recently. And I've still got a little bit of spinach growing right here. I'm not sure how well that's going to do. I'm not real good at growing spinach around here. And I've been pulling carrots out of here too. This was my first planting for carrots. And they're still pretty tiny. But I've eaten a few of them in any case. Oh, what else we got? Garlic's still growing good. That's just going to stay there until probably May. And I've got a second batch of brassicas coming up. that have finally decided to start growing. This is a red acre cabbage here at the beginning. If you remember, when it first came up, the bugs ate a bunch of it because it was still warm back then. But now it's starting to take off. Got golden acre cabbage right next to it there. A little bit of Swiss chard mixed in between them all. And then this is my second batch of carrots. Some of those are actually starting to get pretty decent size, but I've got to do some thinning and, if possible, a little bit of eating. Definitely a lot of thinning. Out over here, there's my third carrot patch, and that one also needs a lot of thinning in there. Those are just getting started. I've been pulling a lot of the weeds out of here, mainly to see where the potatoes are at, because they are pretty much dying off now. And these guys here, this was some volunteer lettuce. It popped up. As you can see, it is starting to go to seed too. So spring is getting here. It's just a little bit slow because of this Arctic blast that keeps trying to move down this way. I'll probably be putting peppers in here, and the good old Praxis cherry tomatoes. I've been picking a lot of these, been eating a lot of them too, but they're still growing strong. Oh, there's one I missed this morning. Yeah, garden candy. And a few more down in there. But they're doing pretty good. And probably keep producing for quite a while here. And back here in the patience garden, first off, you might notice that up at this end of the bed, there's a few little sprouts in here. I actually planted the first 18 asparagus sprouts out of the lab up at this end, and it looks like about half of them have disappeared. But that's okay, I got more of them growing in there. Meanwhile, the day after I planted them, this guy popped up. And that one is almost edible size, but I'm gonna let it grow because I don't really want to eat just one asparagus spear. If I'm gonna be eating asparagus, I want to get a few of them out of it. There is a second one right over here, but it's pretty skinny right now. And oh, I just noticed there's a couple more coming up next to that one. So I guess they're starting to wake up. We just have to see if I can stay patient long enough for them to get well established. Now at the mini orchard, things are pretty much the same. I see there's a tiny lemon on the ponderosa back there. Pineapples are doing good. The avocado is still doing good. Lemongrass, hibiscus. Doesn't change real fast back there, but it is fun to walk around in it. But overall, well, spring is coming. Oh, sun's trying to come out again too. Hopefully that'll warm us up a little bit, but they're saying we're probably not going to go much above 60 today. And I see another little tiny tomato over here that is just begging to get eaten. Well, inside the lab, I got more things growing. After I planted the asparagus outside, I planted another 18 cups of the UC157 asparagus in here. So far, I'm not seeing anything coming up from those. But I also reseeded the Mary Washington asparagus that had never sprouted. Made sure I used nice fresh seeds. And I've got at least one coming up right there. Little tiny thing right now, but it is there. Got a few tomatoes in here. This is kind of interesting because the majority of these 6 right here, are from seeds that I got at Walmart back in 2016. That's a beefsteak tomato of unknown variety. And I planted a bunch of them because I thought those seeds were going to be useless. And a bunch of them came up. So I've got 6 beefsteaks there and a couple of Floridads that I'll be putting out in the garden soon. Back in the back there, I've got some Keystone Giant bell peppers, some Emerald Giant bell peppers, some shishito peppers, more bells up here, more shishitos. There's even a little bit of cilantro there. My thyme never came up. The lemon balm never came up. And over in this far side, I've got 1 cup that's got Italian oregano that's sprouted. And the rest of those didn't come up. Looks like I'm growing grass too. Not sure where that came from, but the dark opal basil's looking good. The purple Petra basil's looking good, as is the holy basil. And one more failure, the cumin didn't come up. Oh, there's the other shishitos. Along the wall there, that's cat grass. I grow that for Mamba. Because whenever I bring him outside, one of the things he likes to do is go find grass to eat. So I grow that for him and keep a little bit of it in the house in case he wants it. But things are still sprouting in here. And now that I'm cleaning up the main garden beds a little bit, pretty soon some of this stuff's going to be going outside. In fact, these bells right here are just about ready to go. Tomatoes too. Well, I might keep I'm going to keep the tomatoes in here until this weather figures out what it's going to do. It's supposed to start warming up in a few days again. It's a state of transition down here. Busy time of the year for me as I switch over from the winter garden to the spring garden. But it sure is a lot of fun. And I just can't help planting seeds. So now I will bring it to an end. And I'll see y'all next time.